Hey, how's it going, everybody? If you're new here, welcome in. And if you've been here before, smash the like button on the way in. I'm Rollshambo, the connoisseur and collector of all things sharp and shiny. And today we've got a good one. This is the new and improved Reccomended RT Peregrine Falcon. And yeah, you could indeed call it a version 2. They've made a couple really significant updates that shows just how tuned in to the community and their customers that Reccomended is. So big shout out and thank you to Reccomended for reaching out. They asked, Rollshambo, do you want to check out our new version of the Reccomended RT Peregrine Falcon? The answer is yes. First of all, this is a sweet knife. This is one of the coolest designs that I've seen all year. And because I've checked out other knives from them this year, that actually means quite a lot. You see, we have a demand from the community for new locking mechanisms, for new ways to deploy a knife, for new ways to, close the knife. But we also want reliability and stability, premium materials. We want really good fit and finish. And this is a knife that embodies all of that. So in case you missed my first review on the version 1 of the Reccomended RT Peregrine Falcon, I'll go ahead and link it up in the corner. But just a heads up, you guys, I'll go ahead and tell you exactly what it is and what it costs and why I think that it's more than worth it for this knife. In case you're sitting on the fence, buckle up because this is a good one. First of all, this is going to be coming in at $245. Of course, they did give me a 10% discount. Normally I have a 5% discount. So I think that that's pretty good. Comes in at $245 with the discount code, which I'll pop on the screen right now. Go ahead and take $25 off that. So you should be looking somewhere around $220. And what does your hard-earned money get you exactly? Well, the overall length is coming in about 7.8 inches, so just shy of that 8-inch mark. 3.2 inches of that is this beautifully done M390 Tanto blade with a deployment hole fuller combination, which I think looks really freaking cool. And yeah, you can actually reverse flick off of the fuller. That's good. That's really good. The handle scales are titanium, of course, and we do have a lightning anno pivot collar. That's pretty neat as well. Single-sided captive pivot running on ceramic bearings, and the action feels new and improved as well. 3D milled titanium pocket clip, 3D milled titanium backspacer. That's about a half-length backspacer, which is perfect. So what are the differences between the version 2 and the version 1? Right away, you can see that the version 2 now has a Torx head milled into that button. On the version 1, we didn't have that. To get this off, you basically have to, take some pliers and grip this, and then you move the pivot and you can unscrew the pivot. And so you do this enough and eventually you'll get the pivot off. Now, that wasn't a huge hit with the community having to go through all of that just to get on the inside. So something that was advised and something that they did was they went ahead and milled in a Torx head pivot. That is fantastic. But the second and most important update that they did was add in this switch. This is a safety switch. And when the blade is deployed and you flip this over, it's basically not going anywhere. You cannot press the button. You cannot release the liner lock lever. This is a very big improvement to the lock. You see, before it was just about as strong as a liner lock, and that's not bad. Liner locks are plenty strong for your everyday cutting tasks, but we, the community, we, the enthusiasts, really do appreciate knowing exactly what our knives are capable of, and even better if they're capable of holding and withstanding quite a lot of abuse. Even if we never take it there, it's always nice to know that you can. So before, the caveat was, well, you know what, it's a strong lock, but it's only about as strong as a liner lock will be. And now you could probably, flip this switch and baton it backwards through a railroad tie. Now, with that being said, if you're interested in knowing just how strong the original liner lock was, I did actually spine whack this against a railroad tie several times in my original video on this, and it didn't have any issues. It didn't hinder the lock at all. It was perfectly locked up and locked out. It did not fail. And it was, in fact, something that I would love to show on screen again, just because a lot of people had their thoughts, you know, is the lock going to be good? And yeah, it was good. But they took it another step by adding in that safety switch, which if I was a betting man, I would say it just pops a piece of metal in between the liner and the scale, which keeps it from disengaging. Now, something else that I noticed that I want to bring up is the action on this feels much better than it does on the original. On the original, if I were to do this, I would have to give it a little bit of a wrist shake to get it to close. You know what? I'll just show you. So this is the original. Nothing. Little wrist shake, it closes. Okay. Now, it's not just that the pivot was too tight, because it wasn't. So I asked them, I said, you know, what's the difference between the version 2 and the version 1 as far as the manufacturing is concerned? Because this feels even more premium than the original. Now, they didn't give away any trade secrets. What they did tell me was that the manufacturing was more precise on this new version than it was on the original version. So that's really, really cool. It's nice to see that a company is not just listening to the community, but also taking action very quickly. Can you imagine if a company like Spyderco were to take action when people said, hey, we want more button actuated compression locks? Because it's not like we didn't say that a million times. We did, but they just, you know, they just kind of ignored us. But with a company like Reccomended, they're constantly innovating. They're constantly trying new things, and they've come out with some very impressive pieces. For example, that's awesome. This is the RT Swordfish. It's a gravity knife, an out the front gravity knife. And look at how that actuates. We haven't seen that before. That's fantastic. That's amazing. And then, of course, we've got the Reccomended RT WK1, which is a knife that looks like it has two show sides. You can't see anything. It looks like an integral, but essentially you can take it apart with the flip of a switch and get that other scale to pop off. That's crazy, guys. What Reccomended's doing is exactly what we've been asking for, because in a recent poll done online on Instagram, where a knife designer asked the community, why are sales down? You know, what do you guys want from your next knife? And basically everyone said the market is flooded with designs that all look and function the same. And so in a world where everything looks and functions the same, we really do need to give props and support companies like Reccomended, who continue to innovate, who continue to bring us new styles that are actually functional. Did you know that this blade shape doesn't just look cool? It actually functions really well as well. That's right, it's extremely slicey, even though it's a Tanto. And Tantos aren't known for being slicey, but this one definitely is. And to get all of that, M390 titanium, you know, with the pivot collars and the button actuated pivot and, you know, 3D milled titanium backspacer and a spot for tritium inserts on both the pocket clip and on the blade. These are things that make a difference to both enthusiasts and collectors and users, and I think that that's really cool. But let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section down below. What do you think of the Reccomended RT Peregrine Falcon version 2? Are these meaningful upgrades to you, or for some reason is it still a pass for you? Guys, again, link and discount code down in the description down below. If you watched the video this far and you liked it, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And by the way, if you want to watch more awesome knife and EDC content, feel free to click on one of the videos that pops up next.